This has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but I had to remind myself that like gigabytes of video data is actually a lot. I was looking at the recording for Ghost Trick from yesterday, and it's at like 17.5 gigabytes, and I'm like, man, what am I? Did I like change my OBS settings? It's like kind of a small file size. No, the fuck, it's not. That's not a small file size at all. That's crazy. What a crazy concept. What do I want? Do I want a terabyte for every fucking stream? What am I worried about here? Here's Ghost Trick on the Resident Evil engine, in case you didn't know that. That's what the remake's on here. I don't know if they call it a remake or a fucking enhanced port themselves, but the RE engine didn't exist on the DS, so my opinion is if it's even on a new engine, it's technically a remake, even if it's 1-to-1. Like, those Sonic mobile ports and then Sonic Origins, those are remakes. They're not, like, their graphics are the same, but they're still fucking remakes. Anyway, I have shit I want to talk about, but I don't know when I'm going to get to talk about it. I may just have to start reading, and it's just going to be nothing but reading for like 5 hours. We'll see. But I want to beat the game today. I thought I was going to beat it yesterday, but I had more chapters to go than I thought I did. Here's chapter 17. It's 5:10 a.m., which means our fake Sissel's going to be fucking vanishing any second now, I guess. And it's like dawn he's supposed to go at. Hey guys, it's me, Epic Gamer Bro. I feel like my voice sounds weird. The upended submarine continues to sink slowly but surely. A long, long journey to the bottom of the sea. Lynn and the little lady found the darkness and the salt water closing in on them, but at the very last second, something saved them. Now it looks down at them quietly. My head is filled with one giant question, not a small question. What in the world is this thing? I have coffee. It's not very hot, so I'm gonna try to drink it. Oh yeah, the fucking claw, that's right. What the fuck? Oh wait, what the fuck? Who is that? I didn't even think about this. Yeah? Is that the other one? I see you managed to survive, detective. What the fuck is he doing? Hey, you're... Excuse my appearance, I seem to have lost my body. His bodgy. Oh, and you there. You're the ghost who's been saving Lynn all evening, aren't you? You knew about me all along? Of course. What else would explain all those unnatural things happening? If you knew, how come you didn't do anything about it all this time? And how come you decided to save us all of a sudden? Well, shit, I did miss a lot. When did you leave? Was it the chapter on the with Missile and saving Camilla and the... I can't look at the fucking... The phone book, ATM. I thought you wanted to get revenge on us. I don't really know. Please, you gotta tell me. I need to know. Who in the world are you? Sissel, look at you. What happened? I can't hold on to that image of myself any longer. You can't remember who you are? That's right. I came all this way tonight trying to chase down my lost memory. For quite a bit of tonight, I thought I was you, Sissel. Sissel? My name isn't Sissel. What? It's not? I bet you'll remember really soon. Okay, so... They saved Camilla, and then the ghost Sissel's like, well, now we gotta save you, Missile. And Missile's like, nah, dog, that's cool, dog. And then was the phone call for... I don't remember the exact order of events here. There was there's a phone call. Cabanela called the fucking justice minister, and was like, "Hey, you better make good on the demands, like the kidnapper demands, or we're gonna kill the hostage." It's like, "Oh no, Cabanela's, he's evil. He's with the bad guys." And then you save, and it cuts to him, and Sissel, human body Sissel, is pointing a gun at him. It's clear he just told him to say all that shit. And then you basically gotta save him from being killed by the real Sissel, but real Sissel has ghost powers, so if you do anything in front of his eyesight, he's gonna know what's going on, and he's just going to immediately kill him. So it's a really cool chapter just for that reason alone, because you have to use your ghost powers in a way that's not gonna make the other ghost guy fucking suspicious. You gotta save the pigeon guy too. Yeah, but then while you're trying to save him, you realize you can't, because there's too much shit in the way of it, because your opposition is someone that knows everything you're doing. So you instead go down and you see another corpse, and it's the pigeon guy corpse, and you go back 4 minutes then too, and Missile shows up because he's a little fucking leaf and he's in the sewage system, and he helps you swap stuff around, and basically you make it, there's an explosion, and that's how the pigeon guy died, because the real Sissel blew up the fucking room below, and you have to swap shit around so the real Sissel doesn't know that the pigeon guy just escaped through the hatch in the floor. So it looks like he really fucking died. And in the same vein, he's gonna shoot Cabanela, and you have to swap shit around. So as far as the real Sissel knows, he was shot. He doesn't see the part that the bullet was swapped out with a hat at the last second or whatever. And then Cabanela had shot fake Sissel, or real Sissel, with like a radio fucking a transmission tracking bullet thing. And so you track him to the fucking submarine, and Lid's there too, and Lid saves Camilla, but the submarine's exploding and dying, and you have to fucking stop a torpedo from exploding, but it still hits the submarine. You can't change the trajectory, and real Sissel had like this meteorite. Oh, and all the powers are probably because of the fucking meteorite. And I was gonna finish it last night. The only reason I didn't was because I came upon 4 hours, and I finished chapter 16, and the game's like, there's still more later. Fuck you, Slug. Please. I'm sorry you're in heat. I can't help you. Who you are. And anyway, so this is real Sissel. More than likely. We don't know why he's doing this. It's probably because he doesn't know where his body is anymore. We don't know why he helped either. We don't know what the fuck that's about either. He's been in opposition ever since we've known him. He's wanted revenge on everybody from back then, because it's basically, it's like this whole chain of events that he thinks everything is everyone else's fault, and that's why things happen the way they did, why he took a child hostage, why he's wanted to get revenge on everybody from back then. That's why everything's been transpiring the way it has. We still have no idea who the Sissel we play as is. We don't know what the fuck is going on with that. Who you are and who I am too. What? But apparently he says he's not Sissel? The man in front of me is not me. I'm even further away from the truth, or maybe not. Something is stirring in my mind, a memory about to emerge. Do I know this man? Now that I've shed my image of myself, I feel like I'm one step closer to the truth. Turtle. It seems very out of character that he would help them in any way, shape, or form. They got us good. It's all over for this submarine. Its engine room is destroyed. There's a hole in the hull, and it's sinking as we speak. What are you doing here? I thought you had to deal with those people. They betrayed me. We saw that too. I was a fool to trust them, because the people, the assassins, they're basically from another country, and they've been on a submarine this whole time. and they extracted the meteorite from real Sissel's corpse. And that's what allowed him to control the corpse and to just never ever die or anything. Anytime he'd get shot or cut or anything, it would just immediately heal. They already have what they wanted now. The Temsik fragment. Temsik is Kismet backwards, and I guess that's a real-ass word that means fate or destiny. It's what Puffy found out. I didn't know they had it all figured out. You mean they figured out the source of your powers? Yeah. The meteorite's radiation has two effects on living creatures. It gives power and time. If you don't mind, we'd like to hear more. But first, a word from our coffee. Because I thought maybe it was some kind of, what's the term for it? I thought it was going to be a anagram, but it's just reversed. I thought it was an anagram because I'm like, Kismet's not a fucking word. Apparently it is. Apparently it's a real ass word. These 10 years, I've been watching that junkyard superintendent do his research, and I think I've kind of got some of it figured out. The meteorite's radiation gives spirits special powers, like possessing and manipulating objects. And in my case, swapping objects. Yeah, missiles here too, by the way. Exactly. Apparently there are individual differences in the powers we get. And it seems that these powers change as time goes by. They do? Yeah, my powers have changed over these past 10 years. At first, I could only manipulate small living creatures. Now then, how do you suppose we got these powers? It's simple. It is? How then? In a nutshell, we died while exposed to the energy emitted by the meteorite. It's radiation. That's what does it? Dying while being exposed to the radiation? On that day, 10 years ago, fucking die every time. A fragment of that meteorite pierced my heart, and I died. And I died. So, of course, I received special powers. No, it only makes sense, right? Hey, wait a minute. Is that how I got my powers, too? You know, you might be right. Still hate that. Fucker just ran over a dog. He didn't give a shit. There's no way you didn't see that dog, dude. Aren't the Temsik remnants still right there in that park at the bottom of the crater? You're right. So that must mean I must have died in the presence of the meteorite's radiation too. No, Missile has his powers because he's a dog. Another effect the meteorite's radiation has on us is that it gives us time. Again, I think this time effect is centered around the theme of death, but it's not all that clear. So the fact that I can return to 4 minutes before a person's death is another effect of that meteorite? So I want to make an assumption here that's really fucked up. Here at the very end of the game, we're going to interact with a corpse and go back to 4 minutes before that corpse's death. And that corpse's death frame is going to be before Chapter 1 starts. So all this shit's going to get erased or something. Replay the moment of death. This is all so strange and confusing, I can't take it all in. It makes about as much sense to me as anything else. Yeah, strange and confusing. That just about sums up the object that pierced my body that day. Thanks to that meteorite fragment, my very existence is a contradiction. What do you mean? That day, when the fragment pierced my heart, I lost my life. However, because it remained inside of me, that fragment continued to constantly regenerate my body. In other words, my body was continuously cycling between the moments that separated my life and death. What? My body's vital function stopped 10 years ago, but my body's time is perpetually stopped at the moment just before death. Time just stopped, huh? So I just simply existed, not really alive and not really dead. That pretty much sums up these last 10 years for me, ever since that incident in the park. My body hasn't aged a day, my hair hasn't grown an inch. Come to think of it, that old pigeon guy mentioned something. He said he couldn't cut this guy's body with the scalpel. That's another thing is Cabanela and the pigeon guy, they've been in secret studying this dude's shit forever, like the body, the corpse. And the entire reason Cabanela was so obsessed with his perfect clean record is that was the only way he was going to be at the head of the SIU. So he could have the jurisdiction to do whatever he wanted with this case. If his record wasn't clean, it would mean he would lose this. And if he lost this, it would mean he couldn't help Jowd. And he couldn't, like, all that shit. Like, it was all just for that purpose, I guess. And the main reason he brought Jowd before the superintendent wasn't to brag, it was to basically waste time, or save time, or postpone events to give him more time to get shit done. So it was technically all for the, you know, the good of helping his buddy, but it's one of those things where I'm going to try not to judge it too harshly for this twist, but it always makes me mad when the excuse of, well, I did it this way, and I looked like I was so antagonistic because it was the only way I could save you, because it's like, we never really see any sort of break in that facade, and if all he really cared about was helping his friend, we would have seen something like that. Like, it was all for that purpose of reversing Jowd's sentencing and shit. But he was going to sentence him to death, and he was fucking adamant about it. There was nothing he was doing. It was gonna happen. It was going to fucking happen. It was supposed to have already happened. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm supposed to kind of postpone that belief, I guess, for that segment of the game. It was all for Jowd's sake, but Jowd was dead. He was going to die. So it's like, come on, Cabanela. And the reason it's like that is because we weren't supposed to know the twist yet. You know? I guess as soon as the decision was made, his body would be regenerated. Wow. Revenge! Before I left this country, I wanted to do one thing. I wanted to get revenge on the people who stole our lives. Our lives? As part of the deal, I made those guys promise to cooperate. Cooperate? You mean the kidnapping? It all went fine. I manipulated the Justice Minister and made him issue the execution order. But I thought he might call off the execution at the last second. So that's why he wanted his daughter kidnapped. But they kidnapped the wrong girl. Little did I know, they had their own reasons for cooperating with me. Huh? Their objective was to wipe out everybody who had to do with Temsic. Detective Jowd was one such person, so they were happy to cooperate. Inspector Cabanela, whatever name I was calling him earlier, Canabella or some shit, and that junkyard super, they were slated to be wiped out too. And as it turns out, I was one of their targets as well. So they stole my Temsic fragment, and here I am. But why are you still, like, existing? But they had one more final target. You, detective. Me? If you weren't there in the park that day 10 years ago, I never would have thought of doing something as stupid as taking a hostage. Oh, okay. That was just a little kid playing in the park. Yeah, I know. Huh? 10 years later, and you'd become a detective looking into Jowd's case. Tonight, I invited you to a quiet spot on the edge of town. It was a trap, you see. I told you who I was. You never saw my face that day 10 years ago. So of course you didn't recognize me. I did just so happen to be wearing the same exact outfit and the same exact style of everything from back then, though. Very convenient, that. I took possession of you to make you shoot me. Your subconscious resisted me. Such incredible power. It was the first time I wasn't able to control somebody completely. The aim was off, and the first shot missed the mark, and then I decided to control Xmotable's Wi-Fi router. I made sure it would fuck up. I didn't want his audience to see this part of the story. I couldn't let that happen. Well, it's not my router, it's the fucking... the goddamn cable's outside! The junkyard was equipped with security cameras. I knew you'd be wanted for murder. That was my plan, anyway. But they had other ideas. They simply wanted you wiped out.
No, Slug. Slug. No. Get off the chair. No.
But then, something threw a big monkey wrench into their scheme. Who's Xmotable? Nobody you need to know, detective. I showed up. But who am I? I was supposed to meet up with them after that, but then something went wrong. What happened? My body disappeared. Where did you go? You controlled her, made her shoot you, and then you immediately fucked off? Like, what? Aha, the inspector in white was responsible for that one. My precious bargaining chip was in that body. I had to get it back, no matter what. That inspector caused me no end of trouble. But why were those people targeting me? Did he fuck off, or was he the lamp? If he was the lamp, he would have known all this stuff was happening forever ago. Because he didn't want any of this happening. This was a part of his, like, nah, he couldn't be the lamp. Because he saw what they were doing. He would have opposed it. He would have stopped it to begin with. There's no way he's Ray. He can't be Pixar. I never even heard of the Temsic meteorite. Because you were looking into the Jowd case. They thought you would find out about Temsic sooner or later. I really hope fake Sissel, the Sissel we play as, has an actual identity. I really hope they're not gonna go with the "oh, you were just a stray spirit" like thing. I would not like that twist. That's pretty much the whole story. The only thing left to do now is wait for the water pressure to crush this submarine. Oh no. There are no cores that link from here to the water's surface. I have an idea. We hook up to the phone line and there are no communication cables down this deep. How would you feel if Fake Sissel was the player? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't like that. They meant for this submarine to be my coffin. A coffin for the dead. There's no escape. The older I get, the more I do not... When it's a character you can self-insert as, like fucking Persona protagonists, it's not my favorite, and I never agree with the concept that they have a lot of personality, because what people usually mean by that is they have funny dialogue choices, or if you watch the anime adaptation for that particular Persona game, a lot of the time they either have a very simple character growth development arc, or they're Chad, they're cool and perfect, they're good at everything, and it's really cool. And like, I just, when it's something like in Fire Emblem's case, when it's, it depends on which one we're talking about then, because like, if it's the one in Awakening, I think the one in Awakening is pretty well written to the point where I almost don't really believe they're a self-insert character. But then, like, you'll get the ones with, like, Fates, if whatever, where they are just self-insert little perfect being, or like an Engage, it's what they are. Anyway, it depends on how it's done a lot of the time, but I really hope it's not just, oh, who knows who it is? It's probably some unseen force beyond the scope of what we can see. Someone beyond the fourth wall, perhaps. And it's like, nah, man, I don't want it to be me. I think I kind of understand now what you've been feeling these 10 years. You what? This feeling, cut off from the world, all alone in a submarine, sinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea. This must be how you felt all along. I still don't understand why he saved them at all. Just because he doesn't have that much spite and hatred in his heart? Because, like, it seemed the opposite. He was so adamant about his revenge, and now he's just chill because he's gonna die too, I guess? Or die, he's gonna be forgotten or whatever. Lynn, he's gonna be trapped down here. Camilla, is it true we're stuck here? What? Oh, Detective, no, you're wildly off base. Don't act like my therapist. If my dad was here, I bet he'd save us. I almost knocked down the coffee cup. Oh, Camilla, I'm so sorry. That's funny. What is it, Sissel? Why are you calling him Sissel too? Because that's just not actually your name? Right? That's what he said, right? That he's also not Sissel, that Sissel's not his name? Who the fuck is Sissel? No, because the kidnappers called this guy Sissel. Unless there's a third there's something I don't understand. Why would they go to all the trouble of detaching the control room? What? Why didn't they just steal the Tempsic fragment and escape if that's what they wanted? Why did they have to jettison your body off into the sea? That's a good question. But I guess it doesn't matter why now. We'll never find it again. We have no idea where it was launched to. Wait a minute. Yes, we do. Oh yeah, right. The pocket watch that Cabanela gave Jowd, that one right there, was actually a device that would track the bullet that he shot into Sissel's body. This will tell us where Detective Jowd is. That present from the inspector in white. That's right, Detective Jowd told me to hold on to it for him. And the bullet is still in this person's body in the command room, right? And then we should be able to tell exactly where it is with this. But even if we found out where it is, how do we get there? We should be able to figure something out between the three of us. With our powers, right, Miss Lynn? I'm a fucking ghost dog, dude. Right, oh, and wait a minute, what about the torpedo? The torpedo? In any case, it's way too early to give up. It looks like Detective Jowd is our last hope. Come on, let's get started. No. Okay. I'm gonna ghost. So his shell is definitely there in the command room, right? Just without the fragment? It's there, yeah, but I don't know about calling it a shell. Detective Jowd's watch will tell us exactly where it is. Right, he said it was a radio receiver, didn't he? There might still be another torpedo on this submarine. If we use it, we can get to Detective Jowd. That's a brilliant plan, Detective. We'll kill him with the torpedo. You think so? So what are you gonna do? Ride on the top of the torpedo? Of course not. You guys are going to go. Darn, I kind of wanted to see that! Did you want to see me drown? Could be funny. So my dad isn't here on the submarine? Don't worry, we're going to go get him right now. Okay, I hope I didn't hurt Lynn's feelings. What I said about my dad saving us if he was here. Oh, don't worry about that. Comments like that just roll out right off Miss Lynn's back. She's really thick-skinned. Ouch. I'm going to start being tougher too. I want to make my dad proud of me.
Miss Camilla.
Dumb fucking dog. I'm sure your dad is very proud of you, Camilla. From Fire Emblem Fates? No. I've been wanting to make that joke all fucking game. I'm so sorry. Because that's the only other character I know with that fucking name. Okay, what do we do now? We go to the command room that was launched somewhere into the sea.
What? How?
Just to let you know, I don't like water very much. But you're a fucking ghost, bro. According to Lynn, the key to our plan is a torpedo. Kind of a missile.
Missile? You have a missile right here.
Yes, dog. I don't think she's talking about that kind of a missile. Now then, where did we see another torpedo? Somewhere. Why can't I talk to Ooh, wow. Oh, that's where we are, okay. Why is this machine shoving grapes at me? Well, this looks like the private cabin of the top officer, doesn't it? This machine is probably for feeding him grapes while he lies in bed.
Oh, it sounds heavenly.
I've been thinking about this for a while now. But don't you think that country's use of technology is just a little off? Says the guy who made a deal with said country. Anyway, it looks like the arm of this machine is a bit busted. The torpedo room, huh? There might be another torpedo left there, but I'll go check it out.
Oh, I get it. You're going to use a missile to ram the control room.
Well, I don't know about ram. We don't want to blow up Detective Jowd up, but something like that. Well, climb up to the... We'll climb up to the torpedo room, too. Up is definitely safer. Okay, now see you there, then. You can't talk to you. Multiple citations needed. Yeah, about talking to Sissel, yeah. Or not Sissel. How is that not his name? It looks like the torpedoes can be launched manually with these switches. There are 2 tubes, so there should be 1 more left. I guess the first thing we have to do is load it into the tube.
When it comes to missiles, you can count on me.
I'll enter the coordinates of the command room into the torpedo. You can just do that? Okay, sounds good. And I just turned on the backup power. We ought to be able to use the switches now. Okay, let's try it. Good luck. Ugh.
Gambling kind of thick.
No, Puffy. No. How's it going there? I'm just calculating the command room's coordinates now. I have to put in a slight offset, though. Don't want to blow it up. The stream buffered due to my comments. I know it. I upset the gods. I don't think the gods ever gave a shit about me to begin with. At least not the Twitch gods. I'm sure Detective Jowd would appreciate that. Well, leave this to me. Good luck with loading the missile. Okay, thanks. Says stupid ghost head.
What will happen to these 2 ladies?
I think that's up to us and our powers.
What?
This is no time to be standing around unsure of ourselves. Will you lend me your strength missile?
Me? Of course I will. Count on it.
He's just a little dog, man. Is this something I need to do? Was that necessary? There we go. That torpedo looks serviceable. He kept his sunglasses, though. He feels cool with them on, apparently. All set on this end, too. But something's odd. What is? The command room, it looks like it's slowly sinking. Sinking? Yeah, like it's completely run out of power. I wonder what happened. I don't know, but I guess I'll find out. Right, okay, hop into the missile. I'll launch it for you. Okay, thanks. I gotta get them both on the missile, I assume? Yeah. No? I've already set the torpedo's course. It'll head toward the command room where Detective Jowd is. 12 seconds after launching, it'll pass by the command room for an instant. That instant will be your window of opportunity to jump over to the command room. Okay, got it. The sunglasses are how most people know him. Yeah, yeah. It's funny because like, oh, I feel better now that I'm not using that fake form. I feel closer to my real self as he keeps the sunglasses. The fucking, what's the anime called? Drill to the heavens shit. The Kamina glasses. And then we'll find a way to come back and save you. That'll probably be my last task tonight. Just hold on until we get back. And yeah, Puffy, you're right. They're probably all going to be dead, and that's how we're going to figure this out. Okay, come on, Missile.
I don't want to go.
Missile? I'm sorry, I can't go. What? I just can't. How could I leave? I can't leave Miss Lynn and Miss Kamina behind. Behind? I can't do it. Missile? I swapped the switches so the missile can be launched. You'll have to do the rest, Sissel. I can't do it either. I can't ask Missile to come with me after that. I understand exactly how he feels. Bye forever, dog. I want you to go, Missile.
What? But Miss Lynn?
You staying here won't change our fate. If you go with Sissel, you might be able to make something happen, and that's our only hope.
But what if that something doesn't happen? I'll never be able to see you again, never ever again. Even I can understand that. I couldn't stand that.
Don't worry, Missile. Miss Camilla. I just know you and Sissy can make something happen. I believe in you. I'll be right here waiting for you. We'll see each other then, don't worry. He's so that's his only portrait in the entire game, and I'm so glad. He's just a dumb little dog.
Miss Camilla!
That's a good boy, Missile. Forgot she calls him Sissy. Yeah, every time I see that, I'm like, huh? So I'm like, oh yeah, right, because his name's Sissel. Or rather, that's what everybody calls him, because I don't know his name. Now, are you ready? Remember, it's 12 seconds after I throw this switch. We're ready. Sissel? Yes? We never found out who you really were. But that doesn't matter now. All I know is I'm truly glad I met you tonight. Thank you for everything. I'm glad I met you, Detective. We're going to see each other again, right, Sissy? Right, Missile? That's right. We promise, little lady.
Of course we will!
I'll never forget you, no matter what happens. Here goes, then. Good luck, friend. Oh, damn, that really is the last time they're gonna fucking see her. That's crazy. Or they're gonna see him, rather. These 12 seconds are lasting an eternity. I strive to think of a way to save Lynn and the little lady the whole time. But how can a ray of light of hope reach this far down to the deep sea? You're not a poet, Sissel, I'm sorry. Before I can think of an answer, the 12 seconds are up. Yep, they're all fucking dead. That's crazy. Who could have fucking predicted? Oh, well, he's not. He's just chill. Detective Jowd. I bet that big masked man did this. I'm going to bite him. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's gonna ghost trick the fucking, the real Sissel. The real Sissel died fucking 10 years ago. Oh, fuck. You better not. He might break your teeth. The command room has lost power and is sinking. So I wonder what this masked man is going to do. Let's talk to Detective Jowd. Sorry for the wait, Detective Jowd. Who are you? Are you Sissel? Please excuse my appearance. I can't believe you made it here. How is Camilla, and what about Lynn? Well, it's kind of a long story. Told Detective Jowd about everything that happened on the submarine Yanoa. So the submarine is badly damaged. Why would he do that to his own submarine? I wish I knew. I know the answer to that one. Or I know the answer to that one. It's the other Sissel. It's because he's afraid of my powers. You? You followed us? I didn't even notice. It's been 10 long years, Detective Jowd. So that's just what his spirit form looks like now. That's crazy. I mean, I understand why it's so we the player don't get confused. They don't want him to take on the appearance that we've been seeing as the... I don't even want to try and, like, verbalize this. Are you... Who? Yomiel? Who the fuck is Yomiel? What? Oh, no, they're doing this anyway. Okay. So you remember me, do you? How could I possibly forget? That's your real name, huh? Yomiel? That's right. But those people on the Yanoa were calling you Sissel. That's just an alias I was using for my deal with them. I didn't see any need to tell them my real name. Could you do me a favor? Would you let me ask you some questions? Yo, Meal! Yo, space MEAL! I've been trying to find out my true identity all night. Bro, is Yo Meal supposed to be something we understand? Is that like a thing? Sure, go ahead. I'm sure there's plenty we can still tell you, right, Detective Jowd? Right. Lemoy? Nah, if that's like some kind of pun or something, I'm not seeing it. 10 years ago, you were a top systems engineer, weren't you? Systems engineer? What's that? I'm a fucking dog. By the way, I'm a top Pomeranian, you know. Well, it's kind of hard to explain to a dog, but it's a person who's good at using computers. I don't mean to brag, but I was one of the best in the industry. That's how I got roped into joining that project. Project? What project? It was a project aimed at reorganizing the nation's top secret information. The goal was to build a new system using multi-dimensional programming theory. I was asked to join the project by an agent of the government. Doesn't sound like something a top Pomeranian would know anything about. No, Missile. To me, it just sounded like another challenging job. However, this project was also the target of a secret plot. I bet you can imagine the kind of crime that the nation's top secrets might attract. I'm going to break my internet in half. Again, not my... I mean, yeah, it's my internet, but it's not my router. I never thought for the life of me I'd ever have to deal with spies. It was never made public, but every organization in the country moved on this one. And then one day, the name of a certain programmer emerged as a suspect. I was the guy who built the core of the system. The police arrested you, and then that incident happened. You escaped from the interrogation room and took little Lynn as a hostage. By the way, Detective Jowd, when was it that I was proven innocent? About 6 months after your death. I'm so sorry, Yomiel. Yomiel. I'm gonna find out it's like Yomiel or something. 10 years ago, I got shot in the back by a fucking meteorite. It was crazy. My soul was split from my body and I lost everything. I was sealed in eternal darkness. I had a cool-ass fucking walk. I existed in this world. No question about that. But nobody noticed my presence. What good were my powers? They didn't help anybody. Not even the passage of time could heal my pain. In fact, it only made it worse. Not to go into spoilers here, but Fate Stay Night moment. I wanted to disappear, but I wasn't even allowed to do that. The way Lynn described it is exactly right. Sinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea. An overwhelming feeling of loneliness and despair. And I wanted all of you to suffer what I was suffering. And So that's why you murdered Alma. That's right. I wanted you to know what it was like to lose everything you cared about. I wanted you to feel the same pain I felt. What? It was the twisted wish of a mind poisoned by infinite loneliness. And then, as I was plotting my revenge, I had an idea. I came up with a plan to use these powers of mine to make a deal. I guess I should say it now, just in case, but like, if the Sissel we're playing as is somehow Jowd's dead wife, they better make that make sense. Because there has been nothing that has been like alluded to that concept in any way, shape, or form. There's something I just don't understand about that deal. I'm sure your powers would be very valuable to them, but what would you get out of the deal? A new life? Life? I asked them for 2 conditions. Number 1 was that they helped me with my revenge plot, and the second was a rebirth for me. Rebirth? A new beginning, eh? I didn't care if it was a fake life, an artificial life. I just wanted a physical receptacle for my soul, a name, an identity, an everyday life. I wanted to grow old in a society that would accept me. And finally, I wanted to die surrounded by a loving family. That's the kind of life I asked them for. Rebirth? Final Fantasy VII? Coming out on PC never! A completely man-made life. That's right, I knew I couldn't hope for anything more than that. To make it all come true, I knew it would take a lot of money and a lot of power. That's why I decided to ask a national government to help me. And their response, in the end, was betrayal. They were making their moves much more carefully than I suspected. They sent spies to this country and researched my powers on their own. And they even figured out what Temsic was all about. And you had no idea they were doing all this. None at all. I was a fool. So then, why did they go to all the trouble of making a deal with you? Why didn't they just steal a hunk of the Temsic meteorite from the park? They couldn't. Huh? After the manipulator incidents, research was conducted in this country too. A report was a report was submitted to the government about the source of the manipulator's power. By Inspector Cabanella and the old pigeon guy, eh? What pigeon guy, eh? At first the government didn't believe the report. But then they decided to put the park under surveillance, just in case. Surveillance, huh? Metal Gear. It looks like just an ordinary peaceful park, but there are armed agents there at all times. Don't tell me that odd leaflet guy is one of them. No, not him. He's just a plain old odd person. That park is like a silent battlefield, on an international scale. So that's why they couldn't steal the Temsic meteorite. And lately, under the pretense of building a housing site, they've been working on a plan to destroy the park in order to secure the Temsic meteorite. So that's it, eh? Oh, okay, so Leaflet Guy's actually justified. I just don't know if that's how he sees it. So the upshot of your grand deal was this, eh? Yeah, it's the ending I deserve. But at least there's one thing you must be happy about. And what's that? You have managed to seal me away at the bottom of the sea forever. Well, shall we get started? Started with what? Bring Detective Jowd back to life, of course. What? What good will that do now? But we promised. We promised Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla we'd save them. And we can't do that without you, Detective Jowd. I've been guided by fate tonight to this place. I won't give up now. Alright, fine. Let's see where it leads us. Here we go then. Back to 4 minutes before your death. Smooth So... Oh, gotta... Okay. There we go. Where are we headed? We're not headed anywhere, Detective. What? There's only enough fuel on board to launch us away, Detective. We'll run out soon and that will be our destination, Detective. What are you talking about? That would mean that you're trapped here too. Oh, he's a fucking robot. Okay. Fantastic. Good for you, asshole. Oh, by the way, I am not human, Detective. I am a remote-controlled robot, Detective. What? Your country's use of technology is just plain off. We get that a lot, Detective. He's an asshole about it too. Yeah, he is. Why would you go to all the trouble to do this? That's nothing but a shell there. It's hardly a threat anymore. Commander Sith likes to provide against any possibility, no matter how small, Detective. Possibility? What are you talking about? There's no need for you to know, Detective. Oh, okay. Now it is time to say goodbye, Detective. In the end, your fate remains the same, it seems, Detective. Ugh. Camilla, forgive me. It isn't over yet. It isn't? Remember what that big masked man said? Any possibility, no matter how small. Possibility? In other words, there must be a chance here somewhere. The possibility of turning the situation around. Turnabout? Okay, this has to happen eventually, so... Oops, I hit the wrong button. Oh, I forgot. I have to click onto the fucking... There we go. Yeah. We're headed, not anywhere, we're out of fuel soon, we're gonna die, or you're gonna die, I won't die, I'm a robot, fuck you. Alright. Huh?
What is it, Detective?
Look at Yomil's shell. There's no aura emanating from his body. Of course there isn't. The Temsic fragment is gone. Could this change in his shell give us some kind of lead?
So what do you think, Sissel?
You think we can rescue Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla? I can't say for sure right now, but we do have a lead. The change in Yomil's shell, that's the key to this thing.
Let's go grab that key.
I figured it out. I know what this possibility, no matter how small, is that they're afraid of. What is it? My time was perpetually stopped thanks to the power of Temsic. His body cycled between the moments that separate his life and death. Right, but not anymore. The Temsic fragment has been taken away. Exactly, so what does that mean? I get it. Your body won't come back to life anymore. The moment the Temsic fragment was removed, my shell became a regular corpse. So, let's see, that means we can go back to 4 minutes before your death?
But wait a minute. Exactly when is that death?
That's simple. We'll find out. When we get there, let's move! I fell back through the cracks of time for what seemed like forever. And then I saw it. The final death at the end of this long night. Who exactly am I? I've already seen all the clues. All I have to do now is remember. What? What the fuck are you talking about? The final journey to the truth starts now. The fucking character art. Okay, hold on. I should do a BRB real fast because I gotta pee. Damn. Unfortunately, I had to pause that fucking song. That's a good fucking song. Anyway, here we are, final fucking chapter. I'm gonna nut. When was Yumil's death? Fucking 10 years ago? It was 10 years ago, yeah, when the Temstic meteorite fell. God damn it. We traveled back through time, and now we're here at the scene of that death. The start of it all is about to replay itself.
It's ready.
What? What? What the fuck was she doing there? Give it up. Do you really think you can outrun me? I was musing to Puffy, by the way, Robbie, that Jowd's color scheme here as a detective. Isn't that Detective Gumshoe? Isn't that his color scheme? Isn't that also a reference to Ace Attorney, just like the guy with the Phoenix Wright outfit? Now just calm down and drop that weapon. Stay back. If you come any closer, I'll shoot her. Maybe a little more green than Gumshoe. Yeah, the saturation levels are probably a little different. Huh? Oh, a kitten. Shoo, you might get hurt. Dumbass little cat. He's the cat! No, fuck off! Right, I'm gonna have to find some way to prevent that. You're alright now. Are you hurt?
You saved me, mister?
Fucking small-ass dumb child. I was just doing my job. The gods, they're the ones who saved you.
What's your job, mister?
Me? I'm a police detective. So that's the Temstic meteorite, eh? It's beautiful, looking at it from this angle. It changed all of our fates completely. We can't stop Temstic from falling from the sky, but we might be able to protect you from that fragment and save your life. I don't know. What's the matter, Detective Jowd? To be perfectly honest, I'm scared. If that meteorite fragment doesn't get him, I'm pretty sure I would have shot him. We might not be able to change your fate of dying. I can accept that. What I did is inexcusable. No matter how the future might change, that fact will never go away. If my fate is to die here, then I accept that. This will be our last battle against fate. Beyond that will be a new future. And my internet will die again because the fucking heat is cooking the internet wires outside and Cox refuses to make a permanent solution.
Okay, let's get started.
Now, how are we gonna save you? If Lynn would just wander off somewhere, that would solve everything. When her sweet potato is almost ready, she's not gonna budge from that spot. What? I want to say I understand what Lynn's doing here, but what is it? The leaves are on fire or something, and the potato's like buried in the leaves? What is happening here? I want to say I understand this concept. But, you know, it makes me wonder. A little girl all alone in the park, listening to music and roasting a sweet potato. What kind of childhood did this girl have?
Doesn't everybody have at least one day in their life like that? Give her a break.
Anyway, if Lynn won't budge from that spot, then we'll just have to move. Then we'll just have to have the fragment move. Fuck you! Have the fragment move instead! Okay.
Oh, poor Miss Lynn.
I'm sorry.
If you're so sorry, then put her down.
Alright, now Missile. I was really out of my head that day. Well, we could talk about all of this later. The Temsic meteorite is going to fall very soon. Before that happens, I have to think of a way to do something about that fragment.
And I'll do everything I can to help too.
Why doesn't, like, Yomiel help out? Crow can do whatever the fuck he wants with his powers, it seems. Is he just along for the ride, but he's not actually going to help do anything? No, I'm not trying to talk again. What in the world is this thing? Oh boy, I even forgot what a sweet potato is. It's a roasted root vegetable. It's good. There's nothing like them on a cold winter's day.
They're sweet and they smell delicious.
These guys sure are making me want to try one.
It's about time for that meteorite to come down.
Uh-oh, we have to change the fragment's path somehow. Looks like both paths and fates can be difficult things to change. There has to be a way.
If we work together, you and me, I thought we'd be able to do something.
Thought? That's funny. I wonder why he's using the past tense. So, do I do something now or no?
Whoa!
Piss! Piss and vinegar. Oh, Cox gets hit by a Temsic fragment. Is this the start of it all, huh? If we change Yomiel's fate, what will happen to everything else, I wonder? It won't do us any good to think about that now. Right, we just have to take that first step forward, just as we always do. Guess I better rewind the clock again and see if I can pick up any other clues. What the fuck do you want from me, you motherfucker?
I can't fucking reach!
What? What does turning up the headphones even do? Is that a thing I can do? Oh. Oh! Sorry, Robbie, I didn't even see that option.
What are you doing? You're going to hurt poor Miss Lynn's ears!
I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. You really startled her. You even made her drop her sweet potato. I know how much this girl loves her food, too. Anyway, at least her fate has changed, albeit ever so slightly.
Okay!
Alright, okay, alright. Now stuff's going on.
Oh, look at that! Look at that sweet potato! That big scary sweet potato!
That's not a sweet potato, Missile, that's Mino.
Oh, right, of course. But look at them, the potato and the Mino. Right now they both have the same shape.
So you're saying you could swap them, huh? Good idea, Missile.
Okay, here I go, and I'm going to need your help.
My help?
Can we get much higher?
So what did this do for me? Oh, look, the lamppost is bending.
But it hasn't broken yet.
It really is a wonder it hasn't snapped. It just might hold out for a little while longer. If I recall, the Tempstic fragment smashed through the glass lantern on its way down. But if Mino sits firmly in its way, then fate should change. It's about time for that meteorite to come down. Don't worry, Missile, I think we're ready for it. Look what's right in the fragment's path.
Oh, okay, that giant sweet potato. If anything can get in the way, that ugly monster can.
Ouch. Anyway, now the fragment's path ought to change. There, how's that? Look, the fragment's course. It changed a little. Now Yomiu's fate really should change. Wait a minute. Take another look at the fragment's trajectory. Now that it's changed, what's in its path? In its path? No! Oh, that's okay. Ugh! Detective Jowd! Tempsic fragment shot through his leg. What? But the cruel twists of fate weren't over yet. Come on, put it down. He's like over here, like talking to him. Like it's weird. It's so fucking because when things change, and like Jowd's here, and he's having to sit here and watch this hypothetical version of himself that didn't do the things he did because that's not how things played out. I can't. That's so weird. Huh? Jowd, put the gun down now. If you don't, you're going to shoot him. I don't know if it's his detective training or what, but even though he's shaking from the pain, the gun doesn't waver. Put the gun down! I knew it. This is my true fate. In the end, I stole his life away with my own hands.
I won't let that happen.
Missile! The bullet is stopped in midair.
I'm here inside the bullet. Now let's swap it with something else. Let's swap it with something.
What? With what? Detective Jowd, the meteorite fragment is what made you pull the trigger. We won't let you become a murderer. We have to prove that murder isn't the detective's true fate. And to do that, we have to stop this bullet. There must be something with the same shape as the bullet around here. Oh no, we stopped the bullet!
But we still couldn't save him!
That's not true. My fate of getting pierced through the back might not have changed, but I'm still alive. What? I'm not dead, I'm just unconscious. Bro! Okay, so your fate of death has changed, but still. This fate is just too painful to watch in every sense. I don't think so. As long as I'm alive, that's good enough for me. Bro! But we were overlooking one thing. The Wheel of Fate was still slowly turning. Ah! Fuck! Wake up, you gotta get out of there! Damn it, my leg won't work.
It's all over, we're out of time! Miss Lynn!
It's not over yet.
But there isn't anything else to swap with!
Then we just let it play out and try to find another way next time. Even if she dies, all you have to do is possess her corpse. Then you can redo her last 4 minutes as many times as it takes. No, I won't do that. Why not? Sure, the fact of her death would be erased, but her memory of it would remain like a scar on her psyche. Her psyche, whatever the fuck. I won't let that happen, not if I can help it.
But what can we do now? Even if we work together?
I think there might be something else, something that can be done.
What is it? What can Sissel and I do?
Don't forget, I'm here too. Oh, you really were just choosing not to help, you fucker? With 3 kinds of powers among us, we ought to be able to fight this battle. This battle against the fate of death. Yomiu! Sissel, your power is manipulating objects. Use your power to manipulate this. Ah, I don't get it. Just trust me, let's go. Alright, I'll try to move there. Now gather your strength and make it spray as if your life depended on it. I'm dead though. In that case, make it spray as if your death depended on it. Give it your all. And remember, you only have a split second. Okay, now do it. Got it. Okay.
Oh, spraying.
Now it's your turn, Missile. What? Me? But what can I do? I think you know the answer to that.
Okay, got it.
You can swap them. That hunk of concrete will go back to its original position.
But even if I swap them, it'll still be right above Miss Lynn.
Don't worry.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll swap them. It's no use! We can't stop that horrible Mino.
What can we do now? I don't see how gaining a second or two helped. Oh, it helped all right. Those few seconds were exactly what I wanted. Last up, it's my turn. Your turn? You know what my power is, right? I can manipulate living creatures. Wait a minute, you mean... That's right. I'm going to save that little girl. Save her by manipulating my own unconscious body. Ye gods. Ah, you're awake.
Hey, mister, is your knee okay?
No! Oh, it'll be fine. It's just a scrape. I'm only never gonna walk again for the rest of my life. I'm lucky it wasn't a fatal hit. But the main thing is that you're not hurt. Where's the black cat? Show me the black cat.
You saved me, mister?
I was just doing my job. The gods, they're the ones who saved you.
Poor Yomil.
Fuck. What's your job, mister? Me, I'm a police detective. Do you think you'd go call the police for me? I think you could do it quicker than I could.
But... What's that?
This is a detective's badge. We give them to children who've been very brave.
A detective's badge? Fucking T-posing.
Okay, you know what to do, little detective. Are you alive?
Yeah, sadly.
Hang on, help is coming. What made you do such a reckless thing? To be perfectly honest, I don't really know. When I came to, my body was already moving all by itself. It was as if somebody else was controlling me. I see. But, you know, I'm glad it happened.
I swear to fucking God. Hey, mister. I found this kitten. It was over there.
Come to think of it, I just saw it a few minutes ago. It's probably a stray.
It's kind of limp. Is it okay?
I don't know. I think it's unconscious.
Is the foreshadowing just that he didn't have much memory? Is that all it is? Because he was a small little fucking kitten?
That's funny. It doesn't look like it's injured or anything.
Poor little kitty.
How about if I take it to my house and look after it? Would you like to come home with me, little kitten? Well, looks like his fate just changed in a big way. Whose fate? That kitten's, of course. Sissel's. Sissel? Name Sissel echoes in my head. That's my real name. These long, lonely 10 years. You are my one and only friend. How about it? Do you remember now? Old friend? I think I finally remember. 10 years ago, I was a little kitten that wandered into this park. I was weak and all alone in the world. Somebody please look at me. Oh, a kitten shoe, you might get hurt. Somebody please reach a hand out to me. I had just only died at the time. I had lost everything, my life, my memory. My body wouldn't move anymore, but I still managed to reach out a hand to him. Then next thing I knew, my soul had transferred to the black kitten. With no recollection of who I was, I lived as a cat with you for a while. After a while, the man regained his memory. I went back to being just a cat, and then the man got his body back. I took my body back from the morgue. There was somebody I just had to go see. Just one more time. I took control of my body and hurried to her house. But I was just a little too late. I just missed her as she left this world. She left me a note that said, "I'm coming to you, Yomiel." The man named me Sissel. It was the name of something important he had lost along with his life.
Along with his love.
His fiancée. He told me about it once, but I didn't understand what it was. Those 10 years were very happy for me. They weren't happy for the man, and there was nothing I could do for him. For 10 years, I wandered through the darkness with no particular place to go. As time passed, my powers gradually changed. At first, I could only manipulate small creatures and objects. But then, after a while, I could manipulate people. That's when the darkness inside me deepened and I started to get a little twisted. I wanted light. Distorted, artificial light. When I got my revenge on Lynn, I would see that light, or at least that's what I tried to believe. So Lynn accidentally shot the cat, Sissel? Or rather, he did because he was trying to force her to shoot? I left my old self buried in that junkyard and walked away. No, it's fine. The black cat. I was possessing Sissel then. It wouldn't look very much like a murder if the corpse got up and walked away, after all. So you borrowed the body of your old friend. Sissel was inside that bag I was carrying tonight. I had no intention of leaving my friend behind in this country when I left. But then, when I went to possess his body, I realized something horrible. But what was that? Sissel, there inside the bag, was dead. What? How many times are you gonna say what? I wasn't able to control her completely. The first bullet didn't hit anything. Or so I thought. But it did hit something, didn't it? It hit Sissel inside that bag. Yes, that's when I lost my life. Right there in the presence of Temsic radiation. And that's when I got my powers of the dead, my ghost tricks. I guess Missile is in some ways meant to be a foreshadowing that animals can become ghosts too. I think I understand it now. Why I was the only one who couldn't get his memory back. It was because I thought that corpse was me. I was the only corpse I could it was the only corpse I could see at the time, after all. But as it turns out, it wasn't the only dead body. My true death was hiding just behind that corpse. Now that I think about it, do you remember what you said? That you knew all along about me saving Lynn tonight? If you knew, why didn't you try to stop me? It's simple. Because I couldn't, even if I wanted to. Huh? Why not? Remember the thing about individual differences in the powers we get? I can control all kinds of things, from the living to the dead. But even so, there are some things you can do that I can't. You mean, I can't even rewind time, let alone change the fate of a death. If I could do those things, I would have saved your life. Not only that, but I never would have just let my fiancé stay dead like that. But you're here 10 years in the past now. That's thanks to your powers. I just tagged along with you. In any case, now the starting point of this entire tragedy has changed dramatically, altering fate. The fate of your death, the kitten Sissel's fate, and I can just bet you the fate of the woman you love has changed too. Yes, I believe you're right. So this was the last fate to be averted, eh? So, Yomiel, it looks like your plan for revenge ended in failure. Yes, and I'm glad too. I think I kind of understand now what you've been feeling these 10 years. She understood. She shed tears for me. That's when my revenge was over. She saved me from the darkness.
From the darkness.
Well, I guess it's time we got back. A new 10 years later was just born. Right, we should get back to our new present.
I can't wait to see Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla again.
So these past 10 years will now all vanish. Well, not completely. The memories of all of us here will remain, including the memory of what I did, my crime. That's the way this game of the dead works, eh? And no matter what the reason, there's no denying the fact that I took Lynn hostage and tried to point a gun at her. I have no intention of running away from that either. The most inexcusable crime in my new life. Hey, Sissel. Yes? When we go back, our fates will no longer be interconnected. It'll be like we never met. So before that happens, I just wanted to say one thing. Tonight I stole away your life with my own hands. I'm truly sorry. That's already a thing of the lost past. Our fates have changed now, right, Yomiel? Thank you, Sissel. I'm so very glad I met you. Me too, Yomiel.
Sissel, are we ever going to see each other again? I couldn't stand it if we weren't.
Don't worry, Missile. I bet we'll see each other again someday. 10 years from... 10 years from now, our paths are sure to cross. We'll just have to wait until then.
Sissel, I'll never forget you.
I'll never forget you either, valiant little doggy. Well, looks like you come to live with me now. So let's be getting home, little black cat. Home, huh? That sounds good, Detective Jowd. We all witnessed the birth of a new beginning, and now, we're each going back to our own new present. We said goodbye to the parts of our stories that would be lost, believing that someday our paths would all cross again. Wait! Who said wait, and why? Before you go back to a new present, I wanted to thank you. Before I cease to exist.
It's the Grandpa!
Oh, it's you! Yes, it is I, Ray, in case you have forgotten again. Thanks to you, everything has turned out as I had hoped. I am really grateful to you, Sissel. Thank you. But don't forget, I was only on a journey to find my own lost memory. Yes, I know that. I know all about you. Can I ask you a question, Ray? I want to know, who exactly are you? Fair enough. I will tell you. Let me tell you about another version of tonight's events.
Yeah?
You changed the fates of many people tonight. The first of which was hers. If you had not been there for her tonight, her fate would have been to die in that lonely spot on the outskirts of town. If that had occurred, what do you suppose would have happened? Let me tell you a story, all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. The story of a little creature. After they stole her life that night, they broke into her apartment.
Oh my, wait. Oh shit, wait. Oh shit!
They stole the wooden box from the ceiling hiding place and left. And in the process, two little dead bodies were left behind. However, the little fellow's spirit lived on. He desperately reached out his paw toward his mistress, and that's when a miracle occurred.
What? Look at that, the powers of the dead, but how?
He didn't really understand it himself, not yet anyway.
But with all you know now, I bet you understand it, do you not?
Hey, wait a minute.
That's right. He died inside the aura of that strange energy. But unfortunately, with his meager powers, he was unable to save his little mistress. There just wasn't anything he could do with only the power to swap objects.
He needed the power to manipulate objects in order to save the little lady.
Little fellow chased after the men, But there still wasn't anything he could do. In the end, he was left behind with the man in the red in the deep, deep sea. And then, he went back. He went back to the world of 10 years ago, 10 years before, to the moment of the man in red's death. What? He decided to wait it out. He decided to wait until that night came again. And that's the other version of the story of this night. A story that has taken these 10 years to be retold. So that was you, huh? That's right! I'm Missile! 10 years is a very long time in dog years! You couldn't change the fates of these people on your own, so you decided to wait those 10 years out. I kind of slightly shifted my voice there to Missiles earlier because I put it together! Probably about the same time chat did, I imagine. Exactly, and then, at last, that fateful night rolled around again. By this time, I had grown old and my powers were weak. So I decided I needed to find somebody to help me this time around. Somebody who possessed different powers than me. But wait a second. You were able to manipulate that desk lamp. Over the course of the long years, my powers changed. My ability to swap objects weakened, but I became able to manipulate small objects. But in that case, why didn't you cooperate with yourself? Because I couldn't. Huh? From watching The Man in Red, I found that there were individual differences in our powers. I couldn't do any of the things he could do. Like travel through the telephone lines, for example. Huh? What? It may not seem like much, but it's a very important power. Especially if you're trying to chase somebody. But there's something I don't understand. You knew from the very beginning that I had that power. How did you know so much about me? Why wouldn't I? After all, we had met before on that night the first time around. What? We met before? From listening to the conversation of the two intruders to the apartment, I learned that Miss Lynn had lost her life at the junkyard on the edge of town. I followed the ghost world path to the junkyard and came upon an incredible scene. Imagine, if you will, there in the darkness, a twisting and swiveling desk lamp. It made my fur stand on end, I can tell you. That was me? So I was shot on that night, the first time around as well. I saw thee, Phoenix Wright! You had lost your memory that time too. You just died and you felt confused. You declined to cooperate with me. I did what? I just want to find my own lost memory. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. That's what you said. And then you disappeared. Away over the telephone line. I'm really sorry I didn't help you. That's why I decided that this time, I would use that desire of yours to our mutual advantage. Mutual advantage? Metal Gear. The only thing you were interested in... The only thing you were interested in was finding your own lost memory. I can't fucking talk! I have a lisp. My teeth are fucked up. If I could guide you along the right path to doing that, we would both benefit. And namely, the right path would be the path to the Man in Red, to your meal. What? I gave you the information you needed to know to set you in the right direction. And then I gave you a time limit. A time limit? Metal Gear? That's right. As you know, I said you only had until tomorrow morning.
Say what? One more time.
If I hadn't done that, you wouldn't have found out the truth tonight.
Oh. Oh. Oh, he just lied to him.
And the man in red would have been sealed away at the bottom of the sea forever. If that had happened, it would have been all over. It would have all been over. Piss in my cereal. Then you mean that thing about ceasing to exist? Oh, that completely made up. A little naughty of me, I know. But I just wanted you to use your time wisely. Oh, boy. I hate to admit it, but this little dog, you really outsmarted me in every way. Let's just call it the wisdom that comes with age. The wisdom that comes with age. And now it's time to say farewell. These past 10 years will cease to exist, and with them so will I. Missile. I believed in you. I always knew you could do it.
Why doesn't he just... He's not gonna, like, merge with his...
And so you did. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Missile. So you waited and waited these 10 long years. All for the sake of your two ladies, Lynn and Camilla, eh?
Of course. Because that's what doggies do. Now then, farewell, Sissel.
And so the story of a single night came to an end. Nobody but us knew what had really happened in this town tonight. I made my way back to a new present. Huh? How come it's dark? I'll just turn on the lights here.
Were you surprised?
You bet I was. You nearly scared me to death.
Yippee, it worked!
But it's not even my birthday today.
It was my mom's birthday the day before yesterday.
I made the surprise for her, but it came out so well I wanted to use it again. That's alright, Lynn. After all, we're celebrating the birth of your new position as detective, right? Really? Thank you, Detective Jowd. Hi, Camilla. Let me introduce you. This is Lynn. She was just assigned to the detective division today. Hi, Camilla. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Lynn. Congratulations on becoming a detective. Huh? Is something wrong? You have one of those badges too? Oh, this? Yeah. I have one just like it. My dad gave it to me the other day. But yours looks a lot older than mine, though. How long are you going to keep wearing that toy badge, Lynn? What's wrong with it? To me, this is the symbol of a real detective. It's been 10 years since then, hasn't it? Who would have guessed you'd actually become a detective one day? When you gave me this badge, I just knew it. I knew it was my destiny somehow. Destiny, eh? Unmei! And now that I'm a detective, I'll find out where that destiny will lead me. That you will. That you will. Haha! I hate doing voices. Oh, hello. Don't tell me you're that same little kitten. That's right. The very one. You know what? This is a very, very special cat. He's 10 years old, but he's still a kitten. Still a kitten? Yep, he never got any bigger or anything.
Ah, what a mysterious little fellow. I know, right? His name is Sissel. Sissel. Seems to me I've heard that name somewhere before. I think Sissel likes you, Lynn. Zit! No, I'm sorry. Alright, everyone, let's start the celebration. Okay, Mom. Robbie goes, Zanga! Puffy goes, Mommy! I bet you're just like me. Your destiny led you here somehow, too. Stupid little tail. Big old fluffy-ass fucking candlewick-looking ass tail, just like fucking Yomil. And so we meet again, Sissel. From just that single night as a human, I got a glimpse into their world. And I learned something. Their fates, their lives, they were all interconnected. Somewhere, somehow, in some way. And now this is my new fate. Yeah? You're just a mortal now, are you? I guess I really am a cat. It suits me just fine to curl up and watch. Watch the strange and beautiful patterns of their lives as they unfold. And it looks like I'll have plenty to watch here for quite a while. Huh. We're not going to see about, Yomil? Oh, no, we are. Okay. Just copping. Happy birthday to our lovely Lynn! Like I said, it isn't my birthday. Hey, Missile, I thought I asked you to stay home and guard the fort. But birthdays are for celebrating together with friends and loved ones, nothing like it, baby! I gotta read so fast. The big-ass food, man! There, how do you like that? Not bad, huh? But definitely not good. But now I can be a great detective just like Inspector Cabanela. What kind of example is the inspector providing for his men? Is Cabanela like a type of fucking pasta dish or some shit? Bro, put your dogs away! Here's your food, gentlemen. Memory, what are you doing here? Heard you were going to be picking new members for the SIU unit today. So you got a part-time job here again just so you can eavesdrop. Wow. Put your fucking feet away, man. Oh, you have no idea the lengths I'd go to reach my goals. Okay. Everyone eats such big-ass food. La la la, I've never cooked this way before. It's so exotic, so exciting. That's not how you cook a giant chicken. Turmeric, coriander... Nope, I'm not trying to read all that. Is this really necessary, this new curried chicken menu item? Oh, but our very best customer requested it. Now good luck with the taste of testing. Italian stereotype! Oh yeah! Oh boy, I don't think I could eat another bite. Just who exactly is this very best customer anyway? Yeah. I don't like him looking at the camera like that. I should have done like a Captain Lou impression for that guy instead. Are you sure we really need all these explosives? Not to worry, Beauty, my dear. I followed the instructions exactly. 20 kilograms of gunpowder, just like it said. Wait a minute, 20 kilograms? I thought it was 20 grams. Ha! Oh no, they're dead! Ah! This is where you work, huh, Papa? God, I have to read all this shit so fast. That's right, sweetheart. Darling husband, don't you have any ideas at all you could give me? Must have heard some juicy stories, the indiscretions of a minister, perhaps. Now, must you talk that way in front of our darling angel? Here's to the stodgy mind of my darling husband. Just bop him on the fucking nose. This deal is going quite well. Oh, I must say, these scrapes are quite good, my good man. The Anoa is about to scrape the bottom of the sea, sir. Be forewarned, sir. Egad! Keep it together, man. Are you trying to give me a case of the vapors? I believe I nearly died of fright just now. Whoa, it's Sonic. Love, peace, and pigeons. Long live rock and roll. The pigeons love it. South the park from charging admission. Protect the rights of those who live here. Deja, you're so dumb. If you fuck something up, I'm gonna cry. Today's the day, you know. He's finally getting out. You know, everybody's starting to get real tired of seeing you do that. But let me show you a new dance that's been passed down in our family for generations. We do this when we have a stomach ache. We call it Dance Away the Pain. Well, I'm real interested in that one. Think you could show it to me, say, next week? You got it! Yeah? "10 long years, Yomil. Your time's up today. The young lady who always comes to visit you is waiting outside." 10 years? Why the fuck did he get 10 years? That's crazy. Thank you, Sissel. 10 fucking years? Took a child hostage and threatened a policeman's life, XDD. I'm just... I'm surprised that's the lowest they could get for him, considering all the events. I understand he wanted punishment. Like, I get that aspect, right? But he literally was set up because of for one, Cabanela fucked the mom in that photo, I guess. She was taking the picture, I guess. Fucking, the entire reason all that fucking happened is Cabanela was fucking incompetent as fucking his job. And he was like getting pinned for shit that wasn't his fucking fault to begin with. And so he panicked. It was like, I don't know what the term for it would be. I don't know shit. Like accidental entrapment or some shit. Like, yeah, he grabbed a child. He pointed a gun at the police detective. But I guess just considering how everything ended, I would have expected all the involved parties to be trying kind of hard to make him not have to suffer for too long there. When you're presented with the opportunity to give a man 10 years, you take him, baby! Yeah. I understand he still did a thing that's bad. That's really fucking bad. I expected he would do some time. 10 fucking years is crazy! Obviously, there's not a Phoenix Wright in this fucking universe, otherwise he would have gotten much less. Well, I guess no, he wouldn't have wanted a fucking a defender anyway. He would have been like, give me the amount I don't want. I plead guilty or some shit. I don't know. Yamil might not have told that part. Yeah, but like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, Detective Jowd knew what was up. I don't know. And Detective Jowd knew what was up, and Cabanela should have known what was up. Yamil might not have told that part for Cabanela's clean record. Yeah. I would hope in this timeline, Cabanela's less of a shit stain about that stuff, though, and I don't know. Anyway. Whoa, a new background for this linear video game I'm not going to replay anytime soon. That's crazy. New song, Reincarnation. Okay. Cool. Oh yeah, the thing I was going to talk about was how I have a fucking controller from 8BitDo, the Pro 2 controller, right? And it's got Nintendo button layout, which means it's got an X on top, a B on the bottom, a Y on the left, an A on the right, and then the shoulder and triggers are called R and L and R2 instead of like RB LT, RB RT LB LT, right? It's not right bumper, right trigger. It's R1 R2 or R and R2. Anyway, so it's got the switch face buttons: X on top, B on the bottom, Y on the left, A on the right. When an actual, well, not actual, but like Xbox controller layout is having A on the bottom instead of on the right. So B and A swap, X and Y swap. So on like Xbox button layouts, A is bottom, Y is top, X is left, B is right. Most Nintendo controllers that aren't GameCube, that aren't into 64, A is right, Y is left, X is top, B is bottom. And sometimes Steam games let you fix that. They'll have a layout for switch buttons. Like Ghost Trick here has that. Ghost Trick lets you choose the UI of the controller you want to use in the menu instead of like reading it based on what you have hot plugged. And that's how a lot of games do it, is they just read based on what you have hot plugged. They might have PlayStation support, they might have Nintendo support, they're probably going to have Xbox support, but they're probably going to base it off of hot plugged. Like the controller that you have plugged in when you start the game, I think is what that terminology means. But what's really good is when video games let you pick yourself in the menu what UI you want to use, because sometimes what you have plugged in may not be read as very specific like the controller would be. Sometimes they're read as something else, or sometimes they work with the game, but they just default to Xbox. And I want to say that's what Pro Controller does a lot for a lot of stuff, a lot of Nintendo Switch stuff. And also, even I see this even less. It lets you swap your confirm buttons because Pro Controller has B&A swapped. That would mean that your A button is your B button, your B button is your A button for all intents and purposes and what the game is reading. So what I'm just trying to say here is I wish more games would do this. I wish more games would let me say, hey, I want to see Switch UI, which means it knows that B is A is B, X is Y is X. And then also, because it lets me swap confirms, I don't have to hit the B button to confirm shit. I can hit the A button on this controller. Just all this to say, a lot of games don't do this shit. It's a really, really nice, cool thing to implement, and I wish more stuff did it. So a lot of stuff does let you pick the UI, but not everything lets you pick what your confirm and cancel is. A lot of times it'll let you swap those inputs, but it swaps it for every little fucking thing, not just confirm and cancel and stuff. Anyway, Puffy probably wants to stream for a bit. Ghost Trick is cool. Shu Takumi's awesome. Ace Attorney 1 to 3 is pretty good. 4 is also all right. The great Ace Attorney games are very, very good. He also worked on those. He was also a bit of a he had some work on Layton versus Ace Attorney. I don't think he had as much, but it's still there. And then he's like listed as like a thanks, so like a producer for 5 and 6. And I like 5 and 6, but the older I get, the more I don't really think they're that great or anything. Anyway, yeah, go. Yes, also the investigation games, the Edgeworth games. They're cool just because they take place in that same sort of timeline and writing that the first 3 games take place in. Because ever since like 4, the game series, the Ace Attorney game series, forgets about so many fucking characters. So many characters just disappear from the canon, and there's no explanation given ever. And that's fucking wild. But the investigation games still take place in like that era. You still see and hear about those characters. So that's cool. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop rambling now. I never had an opportunity to talk about the controller thing because oh, I guess I didn't mention that the real part I was talking about. There's like you can buy these inserts, these replacement buttons, these optional replacement buttons from 8BitDo's website. They're like $3. So you can take apart the controller and replace the Switch buttons with the Xbox buttons for games that would otherwise have that not be something you could do, where you can't change the UI, where you can't change what's confirmed and what's canceled. But the caveat here is that it's not an easy fucking process. You have to take apart like the entire fucking controller. You need a screwdriver. You need a oh my god, I don't remember what the fucking the term was. The tool. It's like a screwdriver, but it's not. It does the same thing, but it's not called a screwdriver, I guess. But you need a tiny screwdriver. You need this little tool. You need a fucking a thing to pry it open with. A prior or whatever the fuck. You'd objectively probably want to have a magnetic fucking pad for all the goddamn screws and shit. And it's like, I imagine it would be super expensive to get all these fucking parts, but it's not just popping out the fucking buttons, right? It's because you can't, because they have like little tabs on the back. That's why you can't just swap the buttons around, because the B has like tabs either horizontal or vertical. The A has them either horizontal, like the opposite. You can't just swap them with each other because of the tabs. So like you could buy these $3 fucking little buttons, but you need all these 3-4 different tools to do it. Every time you want to swap back to the other buttons, you'd have to once again fucking take apart the controller and do it again. It's like, fuck, man. I think if a video game just doesn't have support for Switch Pro buttons, I just need to buy a fucking other controller, I guess, if my Xbox controller is going to have the A button fucking up the way it is, unless there's a way I can fix that. Maybe there is, but anyway. Okay. Seriously, for realsies now, I'll fuck off. I need to figure out what game I'm gonna do after Ghost Trick here. Maybe I'll finally start Chrono Trigger like I've been saying I'm going to. But we'll see. There might be something else I should play. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.